Hey guys, today I am going to be reviewing and giving my first impressions of some of the new releases from Wet n Wild. I've been using Wet n Wild since I've started wearing makeup, which is when I was about 13 years old, and I'm 21 now, so I've been using Wet n Wild for a long time, and they just came out with some new products, and I'm going to be reviewing some of those for you. I'm going to be reviewing their Photo Focus Foundation, one of their Mega Glow highlighting powders, and I grabbed two of their Mega Last liquid catsuit matte liquid lipsticks. So I'm going to be reviewing those and see how I'm going to compare that to how I usually wear my makeup. So I did not get a powder or concealer because with this Photo Focus foundation, because I did not color match to any of them. So I will not be reviewing those until they come out with a new color that matches me, if that ever happens. So I'm just going to start with my usual primer, and then I will apply the foundation, and I'm using my MAC strobe cream. This is something I've been using a lot more often than my Sheer Envy dark spot correcting primer from Hard Candy. I've been using this one a lot more than that one, so I'm going to use that. This is travel size. Okay, now I color match myself to this foundation. I am the color Porcelain. Color matched it, and I swatched it, and I match it. I'll use a bit more if I need to. I'll go back and forth between this mirror on my camera and a regular mirror that I have. Okay, I'm really liking the coverage of this foundation. It got rid of a lot of my redness, and my freckles are still noticeable, but those are literally noticeable with everything after a foundation. Once I add concealer and powder, those are like barely even noticeable, and that's why I use a powder and concealer along with the foundation. So yeah, this looks really good in the area where I don't have redness or freckles. It covered everything else so nicely. This foundation is really, really, really pretty. And it gives a nice smooth finish, like the pores don't stick out or anything. So I will use my powder and my concealer along with this foundation, and then I'll give my final thoughts on how I like the foundation. Used with my concealer and my powder, I definitely have a completely matte face. That redness is literally like gone. I'm sure if you look like real close, you could probably still like see it, but of course I know it's there, so it's probably sticking out to me a lot more. And my freckles are basically like gone. Not that I don't like my freckles, but this foundation mixed with the stuff that I usually use, it definitely gave me a nice full coverage face. I used my Too Faced concealer, absolutely flawless concealer, and I also used my Wet n Wild Cover All face powder. So this foundation is like tops. I'm just going to say that. It's a really, really, really nice drugstore foundation. I highly recommend that you pick this up. You might even have even better results if you don't have dark spots and freckles and a bit of redness like I do. So it'd probably even be more flawless for you if you don't have that problem. But for me, a person that does have those problems, not in a severity, but you know, that does have those problems, this definitely is a great foundation to use as a base, and along with my other stuff, it works really, really nicely. So yeah, A+ for you, Wet n Wild, on that. Definitely A+. Okay, next I am going to try out the highlight, but first I want to finish up my face makeup, like my blush and bronzer, and then I will do my eyes, and then we'll be back to do highlight, and then I'll give my final thoughts on that, and then after that I will use the liquid lips. Okay guys, I am back, and I did a nice neutral kind of eye look today. So next I am going to do the Mega Glow highlighting powder, and I picked up the color Precious Petals. Now let's see how that looks. I'm going to do finger swatch first. Pigmentation off the charts. Let's do a quick hand swatch. That's what it looks like. Very glowy. So I have a good feeling about this. And it says cruelty free in the corner there, so that's good. Use my e.l.f. brush. Just apply it. Might have to pick up a little bit more. I didn't swipe that very well. Can't tell if it's doing anything. Okay. Yeah, I don't have my glasses on, so it's really hard to tell. But yeah. It's definitely there now. That's a really pretty color, and I think it matches my makeup really well. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side. And that is a very pretty highlight. That line shining on it though. I'm really loving it. Yeah, the highlight's really, really nice. I hope that camera is picking that up. Like the light's like reflecting off it. Ooh, very nice. Yep. Took another couple of swipes to be able to get that picked up on the brush, but that's okay. Because I didn't have to like go really hard into it to be able to get the pigmentation to show up. And that finger swipe though. Oof. Very pretty. It's very nice on the cheekbones too. If you can see it past that glare. Okay, so next I am going to try the liquid lipsticks. The colors I picked up are Nudie Patootie and Coral Corruption. And supposed to be a really nice lip. So I'm gonna do a lip swatch. It goes on really nicely. I'm taking my time here because I mess up really easily. Okay, so this is Coral Corruption. It did not take long to dry. It's not too sticky. It is a little bit, but you know, not where it's like, why are my lips so sticky? So it's not dreadful. At least for me anyway. So I think Coral Corruption is a really nice color. It reminds me a lot of Jeffree Star's Watermelon Soda. And that gives really nice coverage. No streakiness. It doesn't feel too drying, which is good. And it dried at a really good speed. Didn't take too long, didn't dry too quickly, where it was impossible to go over it. Only had to dip into that bottle one time. Coral Corruption, I like it. Okay, so I went and got my watermelon soda, and I noticed that the bottles are basically the same size, and the names are at the bottom. And it kind of goes into like a dome type round shape here at the bottom where it fills in at the bottom. And they both have the same twist type of tops. And they both have that little midsection like that. And Jeffree Star's liquid lipsticks are $18 each. And I put them side by side. This one is watermelon soda and that one is Coral Corruption. The watermelon soda is a bit more neon, but they are pretty damn close in comparison. Removing that wasn't too bad. This is what the wipe looks like from it. So it wasn't too bad. It didn't come off easily, but it wasn't bad. So next I am going to do Nudie Patootie, which I think looks a lot like Posh Spice. So I went and I grabbed it, and I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison in the bottles. This one might be a little bit darker, but it is very close in comparison. So I am just going to do another swipe. Okay, so that one was watermelon soda, and that one was Coral Corruption. This one is Nudie Patootie, and then the bottom one is Posh Spice. It is a little bit darker, but it is pretty damn close in comparison. So next I am going to do a lip swatch of Nudie Patootie. Going in for another dip. Here is what Nudie Patootie looks like full on. There was a bit of streakiness at the bottom, but I went in again and I fixed that right up. And going over it wet when it's already dry on is not an issue at all. It works pretty damn well, unlike a lot of liquid lipsticks out there that make it look patchy and just dreadful looking when you do that. So that is not an issue if you have to go over it just a little bit more. So I have to say, definitely run out and get these affordable products because they make it look like you are wearing top dollar stuff. So definitely go out and get these anywhere they have Wet n Wild makeup. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it. Hopefully the concealers and powders come out with a color match for me. And if you want to follow me on any of my social media sites, they will be in the description below. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!